My name's Louis Brehony. I'm the author of Palestinian Music in Exile, Voices of Resistance. The book presents the stories of Palestinian musicianship in different places of exile around the Middle East, not just from musicians, but from people that have just grown up around music. These stories, I think, present an astounding kind of quality and depth of experience in many locations, spanning from Kuwait all the way up to Turkey and across an entire region of displacement. Well, I got interested in Palestinian music initially because I felt that the Palestinian cause was one of the most important causes in the world today in terms of an oppressed people fighting for their freedom. But at the same time, I came into this kind of line of research as a musician, interested in the music behind it, the kind of aesthetic coming from a European tradition which is quite different. Palestinian music itself is an oral tradition, and you see that tradition, you see that in the stories of many of the musicians, particularly the female vocalists, Reem Kalani, Rawan Al-Kasha, and other musicians that are in the book. The book is also about instruments, so it looks about what is significant about the use of the oud, the classical Arab string instrument, even Western instruments like the guitar, even surprising perhaps instruments like the Scottish bagpipe that have worked their way into different regions of Palestinian displacement. So it's talking about the significance of these instruments, but the significance of music itself. And I think what the reader might ask themselves is, does learning about a political history help us learn about music, or does music help us to understand that political history? And there's theory in there too. So it uses the works, for example, of Palestinian Marxists, Ghassan Kanafani, also Layla Khaled, the famous Palestinian freedom fighter. Both of these figures, Kanafani and Layla Khaled, referred to something, the ala tanzimiyya, the instrument of organization, and al-ala al-thawriyya, the instrument of revolution. Now, when they spoke about instruments in this way in their original Arabic, they were talking about organizations, political parties that could help liberate the Palestinian people. And I thought it'd be interesting to apply those ideas, the ala thawriyya, the revolutionary instrument, to musical instruments. Why not look at the oud, for example, in a similar way to the way that we would look at social organizing? I want this book to reach people who are interested in the kind of the cause behind the stories, people who are interested in the Palestinian cause, or maybe people who don't know anything about the Palestinian cause and want to understand it, and maybe music for them is a way into that. And I think one thing that I hope really comes out in the book is the optimism behind a lot of the music. People may think of Palestine and Palestinian music and the Palestinian story as being inherently tragic or sad, but at the same time, the stories, the music, the songs carry this optimism, which I think is really inspiring.